I'm Anne, co-host of Transparency in Teaching, a part of the Education Podcast Network, just like the show you're listening to now. Shows on the network are individually owned, and opinions expressed may not reflect others. Find other interesting education podcasts at edupodcastnetwork.com.
Hey, it's Chris from the House of EdTech podcast. I like to podcast, and you will too. Strike up the band. Welcome to the House of EdTech. My name is Chris Nesi. The House of EdTech launched in 2014, giving me the opportunity to speak with teachers, leaders, and creators so you can more effectively integrate technology, strengthen your pedagogy, and have more confidence in your classroom and school so you can make an impact. Get involved with the podcast by visiting my website, chrisnesi.com. Using technology isn't difficult, and this is where it begins. This is the House of EdTech. Welcome back to the podcast. Over the next 9 weeks, that's right, 9 weeks, I am going to bring you a chapter of my book, I Like to Podcast, and You Will Too, a House of EdTech Guide to Podcasting, which I self-published in August of 2023. This book was many years in the making, and I finally dove in and finished it to give to the world. In addition to going through each chapter, I will also provide additional commentary on the topic of podcasting. If you would like to pick up a copy of the book yourself, or maybe you want to get it for somebody else, go to chrisnesi.com/I Like to Podcast. The book is available physically as well as for your Kindle. If you don't want to pick up a copy of the book, but you get value from what I'm about to do, and you want to show your appreciation, visit chrisnesi.com/support. I'd like to invite you to also join my Discord community where we can discuss the book, talk about podcasting, technology, and education. To do that, go to chrisnesi.com/discord, DISCORD. And now, I present I Like to Podcast, and You Will Too, a House of EdTech Guide to Podcasting, Chapter 1, Introduction to Podcasting. So this is very much the Chris Nesi version of an audiobook, and I should start with the dedication, not the very beginning of Chapter 1. So the dedication of the book. To all the educators and learners out there who are looking to get started with podcasting, this book is for you. Thank you for taking the time to explore this exciting and engaging medium. Whether you're a seasoned pro or you're just starting out, I hope that this book helps you discover the joys of podcasting and inspires you to share your own stories and ideas with the world. To my friends and colleagues in the EdTech community, thank you for your support and inspiration. Your passion for using technology to enhance education is contagious, and I'm grateful to be a part of such a dynamic and supportive community. Finally, a special dedication to my family, who has supported me throughout this journey. Your encouragement and belief in me have meant everything, and I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you for always being there for me. And now, let's dive in to Chapter 1, Introduction to Podcasting. This chapter provides an overview of what a podcast is and its history. It also highlights the benefits of starting a podcast, including the ability to share your ideas and expertise with a broad audience, and the potential for monetization. The chapter serves as a foundation for the rest of the book, introducing you to the concept of podcasting and its potential as a creative outlet and maybe a business venture. What is a podcast? A podcast is digital audio or video that a user can download or stream to listen to. It's a form of media that's often used for entertainment, education, storytelling, news, and more. Podcasts can cover a wide range of topics from business, and education to comedy and everyone's favorite, true crime. The term podcast is a portmanteau of iPod, the Apple Media Player, and broadcast. Podcasts are typically episodic, allowing you to subscribe to the series and receive automatic updates when new episodes are released. Listeners can consume podcasts on a variety of platforms and devices, including computers, tablets, and smartphones. There are numerous apps and platforms for podcast distribution, such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and more. See, in here, I wrote Google Podcasts, and of course, Google killed Google Podcasts. Podcasts are a popular form of media due to their convenience and versatility. They can be listened to in the car, at the gym, while you're cooking, or during any other activity, making podcasts a flexible and accessible form of entertainment and information. What is the history of podcasting? Podcasting, a term coined in 2004 by journalist Ben Hammersley in The Guardian, has a relatively short but fascinating history. The technology that enabled podcasting began to emerge in the early 2000s with the adaptation of RSS, or really simple syndication, which were initially used to syndicate blog posts and news articles to include enclosures or links to media files. This was the key innovation that made podcasting possible. In 2003, Dave Weiner, a software developer and one of the key contributors to the RSS format, and radio DJ and MTV star Adam Curry, often referred to as the Podfather. Adam Curry is the actual Podfather, even though I have been referred to as that. Maybe I'm the EDU Podfather. But let's continue. They are credited with developing the first podcasting services. Curry created a program called iPodder, which allowed him to automatically download internet radio broadcasts to his iPod. By the end of 2004, other podcasting tools had been developed, and the medium began to gain traction. In 2005, Apple added podcasting to its iTunes music software, significantly boosting the medium's popularity. This integration made it much easier for users to find and subscribe to podcasts. Consequently, by the end of the year, podcast was declared a word of the year by the New Oxford American Dictionary. Between 2005 and 2010, podcasting continued to grow in popularity, with many traditional radio and television shows also offering podcast versions. The low cost of entry allowed anyone with a microphone and a computer to create and distribute a podcast, leading to a wide range of shows. In 2014, podcasting had a breakout moment with the release of Serial, a true crime podcast produced by the creators of This American Life. Serial was downloaded millions of times and brought a new level of attention to podcasting. Since then, podcasting has continued to grow, with major media companies, celebrities, and independent creators producing a wide variety of shows. What are the benefits of hosting a podcast? Hosting a podcast can offer a range of benefits, both personal and professional. Here are some of the key advantages. Number 1, building an audience. Podcasts can help you reach a new and broader audience. They can be distributed globally and can attract listeners who might not otherwise engage with your content. Number 2, establishing authority. Hosting a podcast in your field can help establish you as an expert or thought leader. It provides a platform to share your knowledge and insights and to engage with other experts. Number 3, personal development. The process of hosting a podcast can help improve your communication and interviewing skills. It can also deepen your knowledge of your field as you research topics and engage with guests. Number 4, networking opportunities. Podcasts often involve interviewing guests, which can provide opportunities to connect with influential people in your field. This can lead to collaborations, partnerships, or other professional opportunities. Number 5, marketing and promotion. A podcast can be a powerful marketing tool. It can increase your visibility, drive traffic to your website, and help promote your products and services. It's also a way to provide valuable content to your audience, which can build loyalty and engagement. Number 6, monetization. While it can take time to build an audience large enough for significant monetization, there are several ways to generate income from a podcast, including sponsorships, advertising, crowdfunding, and selling related products or services. Number 7, flexibility and creativity. Podcasting is a flexible medium that allows for creative expression. You can choose the format, the content, the length, and style that best suits your message and your audience. And finally, number 8, personal satisfaction. Many podcast hosts find the process rewarding. It allows you to share your passion and engage with listeners, and potentially make a positive impact in your field or community. Remember, successful podcasting requires commitment and effort. It involves planning, producing, promoting, and regularly creating content. But for many, the benefits outweigh the challenges. Conclusion. Podcasting has indeed emerged as a popular and effective medium for disseminating audio content to a broad audience. This digital platform allows you to share your ideas, insights, and expertise with listeners around the globe, fostering a unique and meaningful connection with your audience. The intimate nature of podcasting, often consumed through headphones, creates a sense of personal connection between the host and the listener, making it a powerful tool for communication. See, you and I, we're having an intimate experience right now. Don't you feel close to me? Creating a successful podcast, however, requires careful planning and execution. The first step is to develop a clear concept and format for your show. This involves identifying your target audience, deciding on the podcast's theme or topic, and determining the structure of your episodes. Whether it's a solo show, an interview format, or a narrative style, the format should align with your content and audience preferences. Investing in good quality recording equipment is crucial to ensure clear and professional sounding audio. While it is possible to start with basic equipment, upgrading to higher quality microphones and using a good pair of headphones can significantly improve your audio quality. Additionally, learning how to use audio editing software can help you remove unwanted sounds, adjust volume levels, and add music or sound effects to enhance your podcast production value. Speaking of music, it's important to be aware of music rights and copyright laws. Using copyrighted music without permission can lead to legal issues, and it probably will. Fortunately, there are many resources available for royalty-free or pod-safe music that you can commission and use in your podcast. Promotion is another key aspect of podcasting. Leveraging social media, collaborating with other podcasters, and encouraging listener reviews can help increase your podcast visibility and attract more listeners. Finally, consistency is key in podcasting. Regularly releasing episodes helps retain your audience's interest and can lead to a more engaged and loyal listener base. Whether your goal is to educate, entertain, inspire, or even to establish yourself as a thought leader in the field, podcasting can be a highly rewarding medium. It not only allows you to share your voice and ideas with the world, but also provides an opportunity to learn, grow, and connect with a community of listeners. With careful planning and commitment, passion, podcasting can be a powerful platform for achieving your communication goals. So that's chapter 1 of Introduction to Podcasting from my book, I Like to Podcast and You Will Too, A House of EdTech Guide to Podcasting. Here are my 3 key takeaways from chapter 1. Number 1, podcasting can help you establish authority. Hosting a podcast in your field or in an area of interest can position you as an expert, and that can help to build credibility and attract a loyal audience and build a community. Number 2, podcasting is flexible and it is a great creative outlet. From format to production, podcasting is a medium that allows for creative freedom, providing endless opportunities to express your unique voice. And believe me, you have a unique voice. And number 3, the monetization potential. Now, if the primary reason for starting your podcast is to make money, please don't start a podcast. But also be honest with yourself if that is something you'd like to do. While building a large audience does take time, sponsorships, crowdfunding, selling products, courses, services, those things can be lucrative. But it takes time and there is no guarantee. I hope you've enjoyed this take. And again, I'm going to be bringing you the remaining parts of this book over the next 9 weeks. And if you're listening to this far into the future, well, you don't have to wait too long to get to chapter 2. But for now, we're going to close out this episode of the show. I want to thank you for listening to the House of EdTech podcast. Make sure you subscribe or follow the podcast wherever you're listening right now, and then this podcast can become a part of your anytime, anywhere professional development. Links and resources can be found on my website for every episode. For this episode, go to chrisnessy.com/248, as in episode 248. I also want to hear from you. I value your feedback and your perspective. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have thoughts or questions about today's episode, something about the history of podcasting maybe. Let's have that conversation. Or have you joined the Discord server yet? Consider doing that. You could also email me, feedback@chrisnessy.com. Let me know what your big takeaway is. I want to know, if you were going to start a podcast, what would you like to podcast about? And also, what's stopping you from starting? I can't wait to connect. And maybe I can help you get your podcast off the ground and into somebody's ears. I'd also like to encourage you to share the podcast with another educator who would get value. Spread the word. Tweet it, TikTok it, Instagram it. What else is out there? What else can you do? Find a way to share the House of EdTech. Help me reach as many educators as possible. And I thank you in advance. Finally, I want to invite you to become an awesome supporter if you're getting value from my content. I am blessed and incredibly grateful for the ongoing support from the following people: Leo Calbush, Brian Carpenter, Aaron Cummings, Jeff Herb, Peggy George, and Matt Miller. If you want to get on that list, all you need to do is go to chrisnessy.com/awesome, and you can help support the show. The next episode of the podcast is going to be episode 249, and we're going to dive into chapter 2 of the book. Chapter 2 is choosing a topic and a format for your podcast. And that's going to come your way on October 6th, 2024. Now, before I go, I got a lot of great feedback and emails after episode 247. I'm not going to name everybody specifically, but if you sent me a message, you know who you are. I read it, and thank you. Thank you so much for reaching out. I've got some gas in the tank, and feedback certainly makes the podcast go. So, until next time, remember, using technology isn't difficult. Just give it a try.